Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. We'll start the show very, very soon. It's a final countdown. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Christian Ballard Sports Media, coming at you live on a Sunday night. Season 5 of the Unprofessional Sports Show is finally here. I've been waiting on it. I know a lot of people have been waiting on it, and I hope you guys enjoy the show tonight. So it's good to see some people in the chat already. What's up, Nate? What's going on, man? An MSU fan. So appreciate you guys tuning in tonight, showing up. Appreciate the likes on Facebook as well. And going to be a real quick show tonight. But we got some good stuff for you. Hopefully, as we go on throughout the college football season, we get more and more segments, more and more news to talk about, and maybe even get some appearances by Chess Hall, hopefully, and bring some more quality entertainment to the show. So, but first thing we want to talk about tonight, first topic of conversation: which Power 5 conference takes the biggest step forward in 2022? And what do I mean by that? Obviously, improvement, and define improvement, and define taking a big step forward. I'm thinking multiple teams in that conference take a step forward rather than taking steps back. Going forward, improving records, winning more big-time football games. I think the first conference that'll stand out to me is probably the SEC. We got a lot of young coaches. We got some good things going for the SEC. Alabama, Georgia, Arkansas is supposed to be improved. We know about Texas A&M and their recruiting. Does the UGA offense take a step forward? Therefore, does that mean the whole program does? And if that's the case, if they're supposed to take a step forward, they're the defending champs. Does that mean they repeat? Not necessarily, but maybe better offensive production. I know their defense is supposed to take a small step back this upcoming year. Overall conferences. What about the Pac-12? You got Utah with Cam Rising and Coach Kyle Whittingham. You got Oregon in the Pac-12 with Dan Lanning and a new quarterback in Bo Nix. You look at the Big Ten, Iowa. I'm hearing a lot of great things about their offense. It's supposed to be better than it was last year. It's supposed to take a big step forward, and their defense didn't lose too much. I think they bring guys like Zach Van Valkenburg back to the table. So there's a lot of different conferences out there, obviously, in the Power 5. And when you look at how a conference improves, it's based upon the teams within the conference, obviously, right? So what do I look for? Is there a certain criteria that means the program's going in the right direction? I think number one, I think if you improve your record, you've improved the next year, right? Better wins. I think strength of schedule should play into it. For example, what's your non-conference look like? Alabama's got teams like Texas and Utah State compared to what they had last year. They had who did they have? I'm trying to think. I think I got to pull it up. Let me see. They had Miami, Mercer, and New Mexico State and Southern Miss all in the non-conference for Alabama last year. Compare that to this year with teams like Utah State, who can be a 10-win program, and then you got Texas, right, which we know all about them. Plus, you have the reigning Heisman winner and Bryce Young. Okay. They take a step forward by what? I think the only way Alabama takes a step forward is if they win the national title. That's fair. How does Georgia take a step forward? Is it fair to say if they repeat? Like, is it all about where, like, there's so much that plays into this criteria. Is it based on where you ended the season compared to where you end this season? Where, you know, these teams will be improved? I think so, in a way. I mean, if that's the case, you had Pittsburgh winning the ACC. Well, if they take a step forward, do they win the ACC and then possibly have a college football playoff spot? Seems right to me. In my opinion, I expect improvement in the ACC. I expect steps back in the Big 12, especially for a team like Oklahoma. I think it's really Baylor and Texas, and that's it. The SEC, yes, we can make a case for it being Alabama and everybody else, but I could see Arkansas. I could see Texas A&M. I could even see Florida. These are teams that might not qualify, that might not make it to the conference championship, but these are teams that could still, on their own, personally take steps forward to be better programs on their own. Right? So you look at what do we define improved? Multiple teams taking a step forward. Does the UGA offense take a step forward? Therefore, the whole program does for Georgia. I don't know. I think their defense takes a step back. Does that mean the program takes a step back? Not necessarily. What about the ACC? Is it truly Clemson's to lose? What about Pitt? We talked about them. Wake Forest was pretty legit last year. They bring a lot back with Sam Hartman. What about NC State, Coach Doran? Baylor versus everybody else in the Big 12. Is Texas back? What about a new head coach in Brent Venables at Oklahoma? Texas, you got Bijan Robinson, you got Coach Sarkisian, you got Quinn Ewers, you got Jaleel Billingsley and Ajay Hall. You got all these different transfers, all these offensive weapons, and two Heisman contending players, and what I just mentioned in Bijan Robinson and Quinn Ewers. You have those key players for Texas. They take a step forward. Does it mean that the Big 12 improves? It just means that Texas improves. So how does a conference improve as a whole? Does it have to be every team? No, but it has to be a majority. That's what I want to figure out. Which conference of all the Power Five has a chance to take that big leap, that big step forward, makes you wonder. Did the Big Ten lose too much talent? You know, they lost a couple guys over at Ohio State, like Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson. Michigan lost some guys in Hassan Haskins. Lost who they lose on defense? David Ajabo and who's the guy? Aiden Hutchinson. There's a lot of different. How do I want to put this? There's a lot of different criteria that goes into how a conference takes a step forward or takes a step back. A lot goes into it. And we're going to find out this year, right? And I think it's clearly the easiest way to determine that is you look at the records last year and compare them to whatever we get this year, and you just kind of compare them side by side, and you say, well, every team in this conference had a better record than they did last year, so they're the most improved, where this team had 5-7 one year, so they fell off and went 4-8, blah, blah, blah. This conference, I really feel like it's more than a record. My personal opinion. But I'll leave it up to you guys in the comments. So, but let me know what you guys think could help define and help determine what makes a conference take steps forward or steps back. What's up, Super Syrian Rigel, Adam Netherton? What's up, Adam? How you doing, man? Miss you guys back home in Alabama. It's good to see you in here, buddy. All right. So we really don't have much for the show tonight. Let me see. We do want to talk about, and we're actually going to look at two different odds, one from Vegas Insider and then one from the Action Network. Doing good. Appreciate it, buddy. Yes, sir. Don't forget, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. We do all kinds of college football content, baseball. Baseball's picking up, actually. We're here in the second half of the season, a couple months away from October. In fact, let's look at the standings real quick. Let me pull that up. We can take a look at it. Supposed to go to a Braves game soon, too. I'm excited. Let's see. So it's not even close. The Yankees are going to pull away in the AL East. That's for sure. I think that's fair. Let me pull this up. The Yankees will pull away in the AL East. I think it's close. It's really going to be down to these three teams: 57 wins, 56 wins, 55 wins. Twins, Guardians, White Sox in the Central. That's probably the best division right now, at least for this season in baseball. It's not even close. It looks like it's going to be the Astros in the West. So you'll have the Yankees, the Astros, and then one of the Twins, Guardians, and White Sox, one of those being the go-to teams there. The Mets, they're pulling away. They're 8-2 their last 10. The Braves have split it down the middle, 5-5. It's getting. Whew. Braves need a strong second half, man, and they're doing great. I think they had that hiccup this season where they were losing, not like in a row, but man, didn't they have like a 3-7 at one point in their last 10 games a couple months ago? Stuff like that will hold you back for sure. They did get off to a slow start in the season. They were losing to teams like the Reds and the Twins, the Phillies. They're above 500. It could be one of these three teams. The Phillies can make a comeback, the Braves could push, or the Mets could run away in the NL East. The Cardinals only 2 games ahead of the Brewers. It's going to be one of those two teams because the other central teams in the National League, the Pirates are below 500. So are the Cubs and so are the Reds. The Dodgers, I think it's theirs to lose. You make a case for the Padres to be a wild card team, though? Maybe. Maybe not. We'll see. We will see. All right. So we talked about which Power 5 conference takes the biggest step forward in 2022. There's a lot that goes into it. I expect maybe the Big Ten, maybe the SEC, maybe even the Big 12. The Big 12 is really up for grabs, I think. But me personally, I also think that it comes down to 2 teams between Texas and Baylor. So, all right. That being said, we got one more. We want to look at the latest 2022 Heisman odds via the Vegas Insider. Step forward in what way? Basically, most of their teams, like they have, like when I say conferences take a step forward, Adam, I'm talking like as a collective, most of the teams in the conference improve their records and maybe take huge steps forward. Maybe they get to a better bowl game. Maybe someone makes the playoff. Enters the conversation for the CFP. There's a lot of different ways, but basically stepping forward in terms of, like, for example, if teams like Arkansas, A&M, these other SEC teams that we expect to be good in the SEC outside of Georgia and Alabama, if they like the conference takes a step forward, if they can go the 9-3, 8-4, 10-2, whatever is expected of them, and they're making the big time bowl games. At least that's how I put it. That's my personal viewpoint and opinion. So, but we'll see what happens. All right, one more topic. I mentioned this will be a quick show for you guys tonight. Yeah, no, not money and expansion stuff. It's records and results. That's right. Yeah. All right. So the latest 2022 Heisman odds preseason, by the way, via the Vegas Insider. And I know what you're thinking. Bryce Young, CJ Stroud. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We're going to look at 2 different ones here. We're actually going to look at, what is this? I believe Action Network. First up. No, Vegas Insider. So it starts out with CJ Stroud. Now, they like Bryce Young to repeat, but they obviously like CJ Stroud of Ohio State a little bit more. I don't blame them there. Bryce Young at 350, Caleb Williams at 700. That's a huge gap right there. So they're saying here CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, and then everybody else. They just got to make a list. But there's a huge gap between 350 and 700. There's no 400, 500, 600. There's none of that in between. That's a huge gap. That's 350 plus difference right there. And then the gap gets even larger with plus 2,000, no 1,000, no 800, no 900, no 950, no in between that. No, no, no. Go to 2,000 with Will Anderson, Bijan Robinson, the running back out of Texas. DJ Uyunglele of Clemson, the quarterback, 2,500. Quinn Ewers, 2,800. Dylan Gabriel, 3,000. Jackson Smith Najigba is at 3,300. Jahmyr Gibbs of Alabama, the running back transfer from Georgia Tech, is at 3,300. There's a large gap, but I can guarantee you some of these guys are going to improve their status this upcoming season. I think there's a lot of great playmakers. I think there's a lot of guys that want to go out and play football and play tough on the field. I, I still think even halfway through the season, we could consider the top two favorites could possibly still be CJ Stroud and Bryce Young. Don't get it wrong. But these guys that you see, like even Miami's Tyler Van Dyke, is 4,000. He could up it to 1,500, 2,500, somewhere in the middle there. He could up that. Sam Hartman and Wake Forest. What about Keaton Slovis and Pitt? Right? Let's look at actionnetwork.com and see what they got for the Heisman odds. Is it the same? Forget numbers-wise because it's hard to keep track. But just like the others, it's a really big drop after CJ Stroud and Bryce Young, right? Plus 225 for CJ, plus 350 for Bryce Young. After that, it's plus 700, plus 2,000, plus 2,000, plus 250, or 2,500, I should say. Dylan Gabriel, where is he? Oklahoma. He transferred from UCF. That's right. Tyler Van Dyke mentioned from Miami. Travion Henderson, the running back for Ohio State. I'd expect him to be a little higher, actually, considering everything Ohio State. I mean, it's not just C.J. Stroud. Quinn Ewers, I'd expect to be a little higher as the season goes on. Anthony Richardson of Florida is at 4,000. Hendon Hooker, Jahmyr Gibbs, DJ Uyunglele, we mentioned. Will Levis is on here, plus 5,000 from Kentucky. Jackson Dart of Ole Miss, Keaton Slovis. All of these guys, I think, could – at least half of these guys, you should know who they are. And they should – you guys could probably agree that we expect some good improvement from them this upcoming season in 2022, right? I would hope we're in agreement with that, right? I think it's because of what CJ and Bryce Young did last year that they're favored so much, right? Like it's like one of those, no question about it, they're the odds-on favorite. It's not even close, blah, blah, blah. And you could look at Natty predictions. It'll say the same thing about Alabama and Ohio State being the two biggest championship favorites, because of their quarterbacks, because of all the weapons they have, because of the offenses, and even probably because of the defenses, especially for Alabama. So let's hear from you guys in the comments. Who do you think is going to win the Heisman this year? I know it's way too early to tell, but who are some guys we could keep an eye on? Because, like I said, it's a big drop from 700 at Caleb Williams to 2,000 at Will Anderson and guys like DJ and Bijan Robinson. There's a big drop off there, and it's almost like it's not fair, if you ask me. So, but we'll see. Anyway, I'm going to drop the link. We're going to do that. Yeah, only because it is the season premiere. But I'm going to drop the link. And if anyone wants to come on and talk about this stuff, let's keep it football based. Um, let's talk about it, man. I'm not going to do this every show because this isn't one of those shows I like to do that. But since it is the season premiere, we'll give it a few more minutes and see if anybody wants to come on. Maybe give it 5 more minutes. Let's see. That's all right, Adam. You're good, bud. And by the way, before I forget, this is officially the 2 year anniversary of the Unprofessional Sports Show. I know it's weird that it's season 5, right? But we've taken some breaks here or there. I want to give a special shout out real quick to TikTok Chessall if he's watching, man. You mean a lot to me, brother. I love you. And I appreciate everything you do for this show, even though I know you don't show up as often anymore. Uh, he's always welcome on here. But here's to 2 great years uh, with with the Unprofessional Sports Show, man. We started it August 7th of 2020. I remember our first show. We had ACP Carter um, on the show. I'm trying to remember exactly what we were talking about. It was college football because the season was just fixing to start. Uh, but man, it's been a good ride, and we've done a couple good seasons of it. We've taken breaks, whether we take a month off, a week off. But he's always welcome on here. You all are. But Chess, if you're watching this, I love you, bro, and you mean a lot to me. And I'm gonna keep doing this show for you, for the great people here on YouTube. And here's to 2 years, man. I love you. So I love all you guys. It kind of crossed my mind because I remember it was it has been 2 years because if you know how the calendar works, what's on a like last year this day August 7th was a Saturday night, right? Um, last year, the year before that when we started on Friday nights. So I remember doing the show and we had Carter on. We talked about one player. Who were we talking about? We were talking about like one player from each of our teams that we wanted to watch the upcoming season. So, what's up? What's up, Mayhem? How you doing? Good to see you, buddy. I don't know how the calendar works. Well, unless it's a leap year, if a day, for example, is on like a Thursday, the following year, that date will be on a Friday. It took me a while to figure that out, but I mean, it's just something I pick up on. But yeah, man, shout out to TikTok Chess Hall for sure. He's my best friend, and I love him to death. And we're gonna kidnap him and get him on the show at some point for sure, man. He's gonna come on. I ask him, he says he's always doing like a show with Carter or whoever. So, and Carter's good people. Y'all go sub up ACP Carter and the Amped Up Boys. In fact, I'm gonna put their link in the chat. Y'all go subscribe to them. So. Anyway, all right. Talk about how Bama's going 0-12 this year. Well, hold on, let me fix that for you. Let me fix that for you, Matthew. You put 0-12 when you meant to put 15-0. 15-0, man. Appreciate my good friend Keith on Facebook hitting the thumbs up. Really appreciate it, buddy. Sorry about that. All right. Let's see what we can find here. NFL Hall of Fame game 27-11. Got some games this week. We could preview I could agree to that. Someone like Ole Miss, yeah, someone might get Bama this year. I don't think it's actually going to be 15-0, but I still would take them to be the odds-on favorite for the Natty. I think that's fair, at least, that we could agree with. All right, let's do this because we got NFL preseason kicking off this week. We just had the Hall of Fame game. I think the Raiders won. Did the Raiders win? Let me double check. Yeah, the Raiders won 27-11. That's the final score. So let's preview. What do we want to do? We don't want to do every game. Finally got done with all my SEC team predictions. Nice, man. That's awesome. Okay, let me set up some banners and we're going to preview the Thursday night games for the NFL on August 11th, upcoming. So just let me set some banners up. We'll do those two games. We'll preview them. I'm going to go ahead and put my score predictions in here too. All right. Let me double check the comments here. Hey, what's up, Hummus Hero? How you doing? Mayhem says he'll be going live for those games. I might go live for one of those games too, actually. That would be cool. Let me see what channel. NFL Network, Giants Patriots, Thursday. Actually, what day am I going home? If I'm going home, I think I'm going back on Thursday. I probably won't go live on Thursday if I'm going home. Just kind of go back home and relax. Get ready for classes and stuff. They are on at the same time. That's right. Because one's at 8, or I'm sorry, one's at 7, the other's at 7:30. One of them's televised. All right. Let's get ready to preview these. All right, Giants and Patriots set to face off this upcoming Thursday night in the NFL preseason. A matchup between two young quarterbacks, Mac Jones and Daniel Jones. Of course, we could see different quarterbacks play in. I'm not sure exactly who, but in the preseason, you kind of give everybody reps and see what works best for the team. I think Giants fans are probably nervous about this season. Pats fans, not as much. I think that's fair to say when you look at it, and I think that this could shape up to be a good game. We're live on the Unprofessional Sports Show here tonight, but as I'm recording this, um, the line is New England by 2. The over/under is 34 even. This taking place this Thursday night um, at Gillette Stadium, home of the Patriots and Coach Bill Belichick. If you think that he won't be prepared in the preseason, I think you're mistaken for sure. Um, so, but I think it could shape up to be a very good game. I think that it's going to come down to whoever can put up more offense and style points. I think both of these teams are capable of doing so, but I trust Mac Jones and the Patriots a little more to get it done. I would take the spread, and again, it's by 2. I I really think that it should be raised, and it might even get raised a little bit this week. I don't know, but I would expect the Patriots to cover greatly over the Giants, and I don't expect it to be as close as maybe some other people think. I'm going to say 24-13 in favor of the Patriots. Maybe I'm mistaken. It's more so I just don't see much going on for the Giants. I think they're still trying to find their identity, still fix their team up, still a little bit banged up, and still trying to fix what's broken with the organization a little bit, and fix their offensive line too. Man, it's Andrew Thomas and everybody else. When you look at it, they're still trying to fix that. So I don't know, man. This could be interesting. You got Daniel, you got Saquon Barkley. I know you got Kadarius Toney and Kenny Galladay, but Sterling Shepard's out. Ricky Seal Jones is listed as questionable. You got Daniel Bellinger, who's their tight end, though. He comes in, but that's a lot of young names right there that have to work their way onto the field, in my opinion. So I'm just going to be open and honest and say that I think the Patriots just have it all together. I think it's Bill Belichick we're talking about, Super Bowl winning head coach for so long, and uh, I think that he's just going to have a better game plan going into the game. All right. Now let's preview Tennessee and Baltimore. That could be a more interesting game. I'll upload that and clip it later. Yes, it is actually, Adam. It's coming up on the 24th. I'm excited for that. We'll look at that some more next week as we get a little closer. All right, looking at the second game here coming up this Thursday night is the Tennessee Titans and the Baltimore Ravens. I think this could be a little closer than the Patriots and Giants. I think these are two playoff teams. I think that you got remarkable talent on the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball. You have a couple guys out for Tennessee. One's on the injury reserve, one is questionable, and Robert Woods, who's a wide receiver, who was listed just the other day. Daniel Munyer is the center who is injured reserve. Then you have Gus Edwards for Baltimore, who's out. Rashad Bateman is questionable. Brandon Stevens, J.K. Dobbins is out. Tyler Linderbaum and Rashad Bateman is questionable as well. But I think this could shape up to be one of the more interesting matchups of the preseason. I think it could be close. I think both these teams are banged up a little bit and hurt, but maybe it's not going to matter too much. I think they both, Lamar Jackson supposedly going to start for Baltimore. And I would say Ryan Tannehill for the Tennessee Titans, and hopefully Derrick Henry gets some good playing time as well. You put together two amazing and talented offenses on the field, anything's possible. But they both got some good help on the defensive front too, especially Baltimore. So there's going to be some stops, there's going to be some punts, and there's going to be some forced turnovers when you look at it. So I expect this to be in the 20s somewhere. I think Lamar Jackson could get it done, but you look at Justin Matabuke and Josh Bynes, Patrick Queen, Odafe Owe, on Baltimore on the defensive side of the ball. Those are going to be guys that could step up and play big in big time moments, and of course, they got second and third stringers as well. They got Auburn's defensive back, Zacoby McClain. They also got the guy out of Michigan and Josh Ross. And you look at the 3-4 that Tennessee runs, Harold Landry, Jeffrey Simmons, Zach Cunningham, Bud Dupree, who they picked up out of, I think it was a trade. I'm trying to remember, but someone remind me how they got Bud Dupree from the Steelers. Amani Hooker, Christian Fulton, Kevin Strong, Rashad Weaver, Chance Campbell. There's a lot to look at for both of these defenses that could be on the field coming up very soon this Thursday night. And I'm excited to see this game. I'm excited to see what they're capable of doing. And I think that it'll kind of give you an outlook on what these teams could be in the AFC this season. But I'm going to go ahead and throw up a score, and I'm going to say it's going to be closer than the Pats-Giants game. I'm going to say 26-23, and I'm going to give it to the Ravens. I think Lamar Jackson and company will just put some points up. I think it comes down to basically they break the tie with a field goal. But I think both these teams could play pretty well and keep it a close, competitive game and give us some quality football. So we'll see. All right, guys. Don't forget, please hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button as well. So that is actually going to do it for tonight's show. I appreciate everyone for tuning in and watching tonight. And it's good to have the show back. It's been a while, and I hope you all enjoyed it. We're going to try to get guests on. We're going to try to get we're going to get Chess Hall. We're going to kidnap him on here, and we're going to bring him on the show. So we're going to get Chess Hall on some of these too, man. I know he loves the show and would love to be a part of it. So, but yeah, we'll try to see what we could do. Maybe get some guests on, and if you guys have it, here's the thing: if you want to be a guest on the show, let me know, and let me know exactly, specifically what you want to talk about. It doesn't even have to be. It doesn't have to be football. It can be anything in sports. the Unprofessional Sports Show. But as long as it contains sports and you know what you're talking about and know what you want to bring, let me know and we'll try to get you guys on. But I love you guys. Jesus loves you. He's got a great plan. Always look up and remember that. And I hope to see you guys again soon. Hope you all enjoyed the first edition of season 5, the Unprofessional Sports Show. And until next time, Ballard Sports Media. Check it out. Love y'all. Peace out. See ya.
If you ask me specific questions, I'll be glad to give you specific answers.